advertised, it'll be Herb Score for the Chicago White Sox and Eli Gerber. They'll try to salvage this final game of the 4-game series from the White Sox. There have been some changes. Quickly, the lineup. Hicks in center for the White Sox. Fox at second. Minoso in left. Severs at first base. Joe Ginsburg is catching the second game of the doubleheader. Al Smith in right. Dean Freese at third base. Sammy Esposito is playing shortstop. We have not yet found out why Aparicio is not playing. And Score is the pitcher. For the Yankees, Lopez has been moved into the leadoff spot. Boyer hitting number 2 at short. Maris in right. Scollin first base. Mantle in center. Howard will catch the second game of the doubleheader. McDougal at third. Richardson at second base. And pitching Eli Gerber. Gerber defeated the White Sox in relief on June 18th, working 6 innings and allowing 3 hits and 2 runs. This is only Gerber's second 1960 start with the Yankees. Score pitched his first complete game of 1960 in his last start against Boston on July 18th, winning 9-1. Score has appeared against the Yankees, relieved against them on June 18th, working just 2 innings. Joe Hicks steps into the batter's box as we're about set to start the second game of the doubleheader. Tomorrow will be an open date, and then the Indians come in Tuesday night, Wednesday for a doubleheader, and Thursday night. Hicks, left-handed batter. Gerber's first pitch. In for a called strike. Jim Landis has a sore wrist, and that's the reason Hicks is playing. Although Landis is able to come in for defensive purposes, apparently it is difficult for him to hit, but he can still make the catches in center field, so he's being used for defensive purposes late in the game. Breaking ball low and inside. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, let's pick up Red Barber now with the rest of the play-by-play. Outfield play is hit to left-hand side of the pole. Swings it around toward right. He takes the curve in there for strike 2. The word is that he has a sore palm on his left hand, and I bet I know when it was. When he tried to knock down that base hit of Mickey Mantle. At the time, it looked to me like it almost took his hand off. Pitches outside, ball 2, 2-2. There always has to be a reason when a star player such as Aparicio doesn't start in the ball game. If you're a star, you don't get rested. Pay you the big money and you do the big job. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and foul back. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The White Sox are very fortunate to have a capable utility infielder such as Esposito. He can do a very fine job. And Lopez has been using him to play the last couple of innings when he's been ahead at third base. He's a much better fielder than Freese. Low inside, ball 3. The question may come to your mind, why is a fellow utility infielder be so good? Well, in Gerber, when you find an extra utility infielder, you'll find a fellow that doesn't hit much. The ball, they'll play you. 3-2 pitch, swung on, bounced over the mound, into center field, base hit. That starts the second game. So Hicks leads it off with a single through the middle. And we have 1 man on. The sort of thing. And here's Fox, who had 2 hits out of 5 at-bats in the first game. And his first hit was number 2000. He's hitting 273.
Charlie will tell you that he got hit more in the first game and before it than he got hit. In batting practice, he got stalled with a ball that took a bad bounce. Of course, he had protection under his cap. Otherwise, as he said, he'd have been dehorned. And then on a throw-in after a base hit, Fox up there swings and hits the ball back to Gerber, who grabs it, throws to the shortstop, has the throw to first base. Double play. 1-6-3. So we've got 2 outs. Just like that. I started to say later in the game, a throw-in from the outfield took a bad bounce and hit Nelson in the stomach. Then when he was at the plate, he hit a vicious foul ball down on his right foot. So he was hit 3 times in the first game and got 2 hits. Minnie Minoso, they haven't been able to handle him in this series. Right-hand batter swings to the curve, doesn't get it. Minnie had 1 base hit out of 5 at-bats. That's the best they've done with him. He's had 6 hits so far in the 3 games. He's hitting .324. He and his roommate, Al Smith, are in quite a contest for the highest percentage on the ball club. Smith has him by 1 point now. All right, 2 down following the DP. When Gerber grabbed that ball, he knew what to do with it. Delivers a curveball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm just watching Eli. He's changed his pitching motion before he delivers. He's standing there the way Lawson used to stand, the glove in the hand. I just goes up over his head and comes down and delivers. There's a ground ball to third. McDougal short hops it, and the throw to Scowen, plenty of time. That's the side. Base hit, double play, and the score at the end of half an inning. Chicago nothing, and the Yankees coming in. Guten Tag, Herr Atlantic Dealer. You can fix mein Automobile, ja?
What's the trouble?
Ach, der engine ist ein Klinker.
Clinker?
Ja, es bin gesputtering all über der Autobahn.
Spluttering, huh? It sounds like a dirty carburetor. We can fix that right here with Atlantic Imperial gasoline.
Imperial?
That's right. Atlantic Imperial actually cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Wunderbar. Give me please 50 liters.
Liters? Well, Atlantic Imperial is sold in gallons.
Was ist ein Gallon?
Well, a gallon is 4 quarts.
Was ist ein Quart?
Well, a quart is... so maybe I should fill her up, huh?
Ja, das ist. Mach gefallen mit Imperial. Das ist gut. Ach, der engine sounds good. Der Atlantic Imperial is the cleaning the carburetor. Atlantic keeps the car on the go.
Here for station identification. This is the home of Champions Network. 1460 on the dial, WOKO, Albany.
Mr. Lopez, the first step, one of our students, boy, and then Roger Maris. Lopez hitting .284. Tall left-hander with the real long motion Herb score. Raz back delivers low inside. Ball 1. Lopez has been making still primarily fastballs for the reason that the one thing Herb has not been able to do is get his curveball over. He deals low inside fastball, ball 2. 2-0. Stevens at first base, Fox at second. Aparicio at shortstop. Aparicio has a sore left hand. Must have been the ball that Mantle exploded at him. And the third baseman is free. Still Ginsburg back to the plate. 4 pitches, low for ball 3. The White Sox have seen to it that they leave town. They're flying on a plane as soon as the second game is over up to Boston. They've seen to it they'll leave in first place. The Yankees are trying to reach back and call them back a notch. 3-0 pitch. In there for the strike. 3-1. The outfield for Chicago is Minogue. Hicks is in center, and the right fielder is Al Smith. We have no score. First game won by Chicago. Ball 4 to Lopez, up high for Walker. First base coach, Ralph House, goes over and said, in effect, well, I'm glad to see you back, Neil. You know, the first base coach is always such a cheerful fellow that they sometimes refer to him as a greeter. Now, Boyer hitting 240. Takes a strike, and is 0-1. Cleves is playing up inside third, 6 pitches of a bunt. Score off first base, not in time. Herb has a very long backswing to his pitching move. He reaches way back. It's very hard for him to hold alert runners on. Lopez off. Rich. He swings and does not get a fastball. Strike 2. 0-2. Outside, ball 1. High and away. Foreman's score came up. He was really something. He holds the major league record for rookie strikeout. As a ground ball is just a third. Freezes up, goes to second to Fox, and the relay to first is not in time. Boyer beat it. So it's the fourth play at second. Third to second. Boyer on to the fourth. Scored first year in 1955. He struck out 745. And he is the first pitcher with 200 or more strikeouts in each of his first 2 seasons. That's the record he held all by himself. His first 2 years up here, he struck out 508. Association his last year down there, and just before he struck out 330. That's sort of stuff he's had. Here is Maris, hitting 313, taking a pitch over for a call strike. That seemed to me to be the curve. Herb, in 55, struck out 16 men against the Red Sox, and 9 in the first 3 innings. Pitch is going on late, fouled off. But on the night of May 7, 1957, Mike Dougal hit a line drive in the first inning, and it hit right on the right eyebrow. He's out of the game for the rest of the year, and then he's been just trying to fight his way back. Two-strike pitch. That was the curveball, and Maris caught surprise and struck out. Boy, he got that one over. So that's his first strikeout today. Now we have the Moose, who is leading the league, hitting at 332. He has been on a savage drive. County had 2 hits in the first game. Outside, ball 1. Maris had a single in the first game. Cowan had 2 singles. Mantle went 2 for 3 with a double and a single. And his single in the 7th inning is the one that hit Aparicio on the hand, and it was tremendously hit. There's a pitch that's off the catcher's glove, and there is Boyer down at second base. Ginsberg retrieves, and Boyer moves 1 base. It is a wild pitch. Down low. safely in 8 straight. Takes the fastball outside, ball 3. And he has picked up 16 hits in his last 30 at-bats. He has 13 hits in his last 20 at-bats. Takes low inside, ball 4. So he draws a base on balls. Runners at first and second, and here's Mantle. He had a double and a single and a scoring fly ball in the first game. He got him out just once, officially. Mantle hitting at 272. We have no score. And Score has to be very careful here in the first inning with 2 outs. 2 off. He delivers, rips the fastball through for a called strike. Nothing in 1. The Yankees are 2 games out now. Like 1 pitch. Swung and missed. A high fastball up around the shoulders. Mickey went for it and didn't get it. Right, nothing in 2. No balls, 2 strikes. This is Lopez's big gamble of the year, this left-hander. He traded for him with the idea of trying to bring him back. The pitch is strike 3 right on the outside corner. He's going hard. Boom. Well. So Score walked off the mound, picking up a couple of strikeouts. And I mean, he threw a small baseball into and also a curveball. So that's the first inning, and it is Chicago nothing and New York nothing. Well, the game at Baltimore's over. The Orioles got their young pitcher started a run in the last of the 11th. He went all the way, and Baltimore beat Detroit 2-1. For the Orioles, 2 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. For the Tigers, 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors. And running started. Sixers came on in the 7th as the losing pitcher for Detroit. Tucker Strada went all the way. And he can throw a small baseball, too. The Red Sox won the first game of their doubleheader from the Indians 10-6, and they lead Cleveland now 5-1 at the end of 3 innings out the second. However, I noticed that Sullivan has been replaced by Fornelli in the 4th inning, which means that the Indians may be on the warpath. Kansas City won the first game at Washington 6-3, and the Senators are leading 9-0 at the end of 6 innings in back of Pasquale in the second. Big blow in the 6th inning for Washington with a home run by Julio Becerra, who was 1 on. At the end of the inning and a half, Philadelphia at Los Angeles, no score. At the end of 5 innings, the Giants hold their first inning margin of 2-0 over the Pirates. Willie Mays gave it to them with a home run with 1 on. Odell pitching to San Francisco and Cheney for Pittsburgh. And the Pirate hold on first place is very, very shaky. They have resumed after a very long delay. Hours, it seems to me, out at Cincinnati. And now at the end of 6.5 innings, it is St. Louis 3, Cincinnati 2. Dwight Davis first to face Gerber. Takes the curve for a called strike. In the first of the doubleheader, Milwaukee won at Chicago 7-5, and it is no score in the second game at the end of 2 innings. No score here at the stadium, and you're up to date. First game won by Chicago 6-3, and on we go. Stevens. Big right-hand batter takes a pitch that's into the dirt and outside and bounces back to the stand. Howard, who is catching both ends of it, gets another ball straight on John Rice. Throws it out to the mound. Stevens is hitting 300 for the season as a whole. But on this Chicago surge, he's hitting right at 400. In the first game today, he had a single which knocked in the first run. It broke the ice, and that's always the important hit. Then later added a home run. Swings, hit the ground ball to the left of shortstop boy and into left center field for a base hit. Single for Stevens. He got stopped yesterday, but in the Friday night game he had 2 singles and got the first hit for them Friday night. So Stevens, a single to left center. Leads off the second inning. That's the second hit. Now hit is Joe Ginsberg, hitting 272. 3. He was secured from Baltimore after the season began, if you recall. Comes back from a fastball down across the chin, ball 1. McDougal is up, ready for a bunt. Baltimore released him. So he was signed as a free agent, but technically he was not secured from Baltimore. He owned himself. Kicks a slider in there for a strike. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gerber pitched very effectively down to Richmond and brought him up, and he had bad luck. It seemed that every time he was going to get a start, it rained. He'd get lost in the rotation. First, nothing doing. He pitched 1 ball and worked on his curveball and his slider. Improved it. 1-1 pitch. Fastball. Swung on and missed. He had it past him. 1-2. The Yankees hoping that some pitcher will straighten them out. Of this series. On the other hand, Chicago's won 8 in a row, and 52 of their last 30. Pitch inside at the kneecap, ball 2. No score. It'll be very interesting to see the attendance figures. Our engineer, Pappy Durkin, guesses the crowd around 55,000. Mel Allen said they figured maybe 61. There's a ball that hits back through the middle in the center field, and Kubeck goes to third. They have to hit the run on, and they move the big guy right around on a solid single. Went right back between Gerber's feet. Right through his feet. Right between them. So, here these White Sox up and at him again now, and then at first and third, nobody out. Our statistician, he figures 60 to 62,000 here today. Maybe Al Smith up, swings, and there's a foul ball line. Nothing in one. Smith is hitting at 325, which is the highest batting percentage on the clock. We'll get a figure from Joe Ripley what the crowd is today. Making up his mind. I think he's about to say he'll let us know when the count comes down. There's a curve that swung on and missed. Blow out that curve. And Joe says, well, my goodness, he's sharp. He says 63,660. That's what he said. Well, I don't know. Between games, I said, I don't know, it's hard for me to get the stadium because there's so many areas you can't see. You can't see Sandy from where we are. So I'd have to guess around 60. Fastball high inside, ball 1, 1-2. Runners at first and third. The White Sox threatening. Smith walks back out of there, goes to the rosin bag. Started catching his breath after that one that came up under his chin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gerber ready. George Smith the pitch. Here's the curve low. Ball 2. I know the one thing that makes you hesitate to put the figure too high for the crowd today is I have a feeling that the main grandstands are completely filled. But I know that not all the seats are taken out there in the bleachers. Yankees hold 14,000. I'd say there must be, 10,000 out there. Be my guess. The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled into the upper first base stand. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, tomorrow will be an open day, and the Yankees can use it because they've got work coming up. The Indians will be ripping in here Tuesday night, Wednesday for a doubleheader, and Thursday night. The second game Wednesday and the night game Thursday do not show on your schedule. They are makeup games. Remember the Sunday that we had out here, we had 50,000 in the stands then, and the doubleheader was rained out. Had a couple of big days for about the weather. Had a night game with Detroit, which would have been 40,000. That will be made up a week from Tuesday night. All right, Gerber, who pitches delivery, is in a set position. Delivers, and there's a ground ball hit too short to Boyer's right. He gets it, goes over to second base, the relay to first. Is not in time. The run scores on a fourth straight second. The only play that Boyer had was back to second base. So Smith is out. Charge him with a force. Credit him with an RBI. Ginsburg forced to second. Boyer, the shortstop, to Richardson, the second baseman. And Severs, who could not be challenged, slipped in from third for the first run. So the Sox have drawn first blood. And now we have Gene Freeze. The last time the Yankees went out to Chicago, they swept the series. And the Sox, of course, would like to return the compliment. Freeze, right-hand batter. Takes the pitch throw outside, ball 1. In the first game, Gene walked, had a sacrifice fly, and hit a triple, and bounced into a double play. So he was technically 1 for 2. Hitting 271. After which gave him a step around into left. With 1 out. Third, low outside, ball 2. 1-0 Chicago. Gerber standing at the back of the mound. After the Cleveland series, Kansas City moves in Friday night, Saturday afternoon of the Dixie Singles 70th birthday, and then a doubleheader a week from today. And Detroit is in Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, and also for Tuesday afternoon game. Tuesday will be 2 separate and distinct games. Sliders over for a call strike, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1-1. Go to first, nothing doing. Gallen returns. 2-1 pitch. Fastball is swung on and hit high to right center field. Maris is going, and he makes a one-handed catch on it. Off Tucker's catch, right in front of the scoreboard. I think he was the only guy in the park who thought he could catch it. Something in. Roger can do more than hit home runs. That was a great catch in right center field. And that really saved trouble. So Freeze is out. 2 men are gone. Here's Esposito. If he hadn't caught that ball, it would have been, I think Smith would have, he would have been third anyhow, and he might have been in. But you never know how a ball will bounce when it would have gone off the scoreboard. And I think that Freeze, who can run, would have been at least a second. And you'd have only 1 out. Now you've got Smith at first base. It's still a 1-0 ball game, and 2 are out. And Esposito hits the foul back. One of the great things about coming to see a ball game at the stadium is that in the big ballpark with the big outfield, you have a chance to see outfielders really do it. Really do it. They can go and get it. They got room. 1-1 pitch is Pickle back to the mound. Halfway back. Gerber grabs it, goes to first base. Esposito's up. So, thanks to Mr. Marais getting an ovation as he comes in, it is just 1 run. 2 hits. And the score at the end of an inning and a half. Chicago 1 and New York nothing.
Are you really satisfied with the way your car has been acting lately? Maybe it's something you can actually put your finger on. More frequent stalling, perhaps, or rough idling, less miles per gallon. Now, your trouble could be a dirty carburetor, something that can happen to any car, even a relatively new one. You see, exhaust fumes and other air contaminants get by your air cleaner and build up deposits on the carburetor wall near the throttle plate. Even a small amount of these deposits can cause the throttle plate to feed an improper mixture of air and gasoline to your engine, and the result is rough performance and actual gasoline waste. But now you can eliminate the problems caused by a dirty carburetor with new Atlantic Imperial gasoline. Atlantic Imperial actually cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. So, to end stalling and rough idling gasoline waste due to a dirty carburetor, use Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that adds pleasure to your driving and keeps your car on the go.
And turns the fastball loose right over the middle for a called strike. Howard knocked in the first 2 Yankee runs in 6-3 defeat. First game. Hit a single, 1 for 4. Takes a curveball low inside, ball 1. Elster hitting 270. Catching both of them. It's 1-0 Chicago. Is on and missed. Boy, that was a buzzing coming down there just above the knees. 1-2. Score. But with nobody on using his full motion, reaches almost back to second base. He goes way back. Delivers, and Elston hits a high fly ball to right back at second base. Let's see, Fox is going out, and it's a shortstop. That's the deal, and he stays with it. He and Fox almost banged together. What happened was this high pop fly, Fox thought Esposito was going for it, and Esposito thought Fox was going for it, and they suddenly looked at each other for a minute, then suddenly Nelson said, gee, I better get out there. And then Esposito says, I better go with you. So Esposito made the catch. Joe McDougal. Right-hand hitter. Gil hitting 256. And he was stopped in the first game. It's a curve, low inside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is a curveball over for a strike. Well, Score has not been getting his curve over. That's been a matter of record until right now, and he's getting it over in the second game. That is the one thing that he and manager Lopez have been waiting for. Ginsberg calls to the pitch, and Score delivers the fastball low inside. At the knees, ball 2. One strike. This is high outside, ball 3, another fast pitch. 3-1. Joe Ginsberg was too pleased with Rice's decision on that last pitch. They didn't think it was that high. Now we have Bobby Richardson, second baseman. Bobby hitting .272. He had one hit in the first game, 1-4. Score pitches right in for a strike. The infield, second in to double play down. Bobby bunts at it. Doesn't get it. He tried to bunt a fastball and missed it completely. Strike two. No ball, 2 strikes. Gets Gerber, the pitcher up. He is 2 for 8 this year. It is 1-0 in favor of Chicago. And it could be more than that. Except for a catch right out at the scoreboard in right center field by Marriott. This is the fastball low. To the stage, he went into the dirt down by the hitter's feet. McDougal goes out at second base and holds on as Ginsberg has to go back to the stand and retrieve it. And it is another wild pitch. So, this is the second time that Score has, with 2 out, moved the runner from first base for the wild pitch. So the tying run is now at second base. And Gerber, a good hitting pitcher up there, will be kind of get himself back to parity. So left-hander delivers. High outside, ball 3. 3-0. Lopez, who is leading off, is waiting on deck while the pitcher bats. Delivers, and it's in for the strike. 3-1. Low inside, ball 4. So Gerber draws the base on ball. Gerber now walked 4. Putting on a light jacket. Cooling off. Lopez, who walked in the first inning. Second inning is sort of a pattern like the first. All right, Chicago leading 1-0, but the Yankees are threatening. High outside. Ball 1. McLeod, right-hand hitter. And as a pitch that is too low, ball 2. 2-0. has been Herb's Achilles heel. Lack of control. Throw the ball hard. The 2-0 pitch is swung on, and there is a high fly ball to deep center field. Hicks sunglasses down under it and has it. So Herb has been in trouble 2 innings, got out of it both times. And the total to the end of 2. For Chicago, 1 run, 3 hits and no errors. New York, nothing across.
Remember, keep on the go with new Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Pause for safety identification.
1450 on the dial, WOKO, Albany.
Up, and then the leadoff man for the second game, Joe Hicks, followed by Nelson Fox. Gerber trying to put the brake to the Yankees reverse. Strong young right-hander. Going down to Howard. Every bit of the infield is now in the shadow cast by the stand. Only 2 players are playing in the sun now. The center fielder and the right fielder. Score as the batter is 2 for 10. 1-0 Chicago, and the White Sox took the first of 6-3. Cleveland and Tuesday night. Doubleheader Wednesday afternoon at 1:30. And then a make-up night game Thursday. Of course, does not show on your schedule. Neither does the doubleheader. The Giants have just added 4 runs to the 2 they already had in the 6th inning. Mays hit a first-inning home run, and Smith just hit a home run in the 6th with 2 on. So it's 6-0, the Giants over the Pirates. Let's check the Milwaukee second-game situation, because Milwaukee could get in the first place. Score hits at the first pitch and hits the fly ball that the shortstop boy is under. In the 4 innings of the second game, the Braves and the Cubs are scoreless. But if Milwaukee wins the second game and Pittsburgh loses its single game out on the coast, Milwaukee would take it by 2 percentage points. All right, 1 man up, 1 pitch, 1 out. Put out for the shortstop, and now the shortstop has second go around. Hicks, the young center fielder who's playing for Landis, who has an injured left wrist, and he cannot hold the bat to swing. Gerber gets his curve over, starts him off with a strike. Hicks singled in the first inning, and Fox followed him and banged into a double play. He runs up as though he was fired and then took a low curve for a ball 1. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Pitch is swung on, hit there. Bobby Richardson goes to his right, 2 steps up, fully throws the yard, and Hicks is out. We have 2 gone. Gerber is using as a preliminary pitching move almost the same technique that Bob Turley is using. He holds the ball in his glove right off of his belt buckle while he takes the sign, and then simply goes up over his head and pitches. Notice he is not pumping. He is going higher, however, in his preliminary move than Turley does. There's Fox. Swings and hits the drive out to left center. Mantle is moving under it. He has it. So, Eli disposes of the White Sox 1-2-3, and the score at the end of 2 innings and 2.5 innings remains Chicago 1 and New York 0. It's what you call keeping 1 foot in the pickle bat. The attendance figures ought to be along pretty soon. Strike two. Boy. And make no mistake about it, he's throwing that fastball. Nothing in two. There's a big high change of pace. Too high, ball one. 1-2. If this fella can get back on the beam, Mr. Lopez is not going to have too much of a problem by the pitching staff. Foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ball left-handed deals. And strikes him out with a curve. Boy, that one broke. He got that one over. And he struck out Maris with a curveball in the first inning. And here's Roger coming up again. Delivers the fastball high inside, and it is ball one. Now it's bluffed the box and drew the third baseman freeze in. And ball one. The pitch is a high inside fastball, ball two. 2-0. 2 balls, no strike. White Sox leading 1-0. They got a run in the second inning. Singles by Stevens and Ginsberg. That was a hit-and-run single that Joe delivered on. And then on the fourth play, the runner from third got in. Score pitches go outside, ball 3. Third trying to find the plate to Maris. This is low outside, ball 4. So this is the fifth man who's walked. He's already done a pretty good day's work now with the number of pitches he's thrown. Now we have the Moose, who walked in the first inning, and that kept his league high percentage at .332. Los Angeles just made 8 runs against Philadelphia in the third inning to go ahead in that single game 8-0. Guy hits a high foul ball deep back to first base. It's close to the stand. Stevens goes over, and the ball is back in 4 rolls. Out of play, strike one. In the 5-inning second game at Chicago, the Braves and the Cubs are still runless, and Milwaukee won the first one 7-5. Won it with Font. He managed to last. He had a big lead at one time 7-1. Throw to first. Harris is back. Roger with 1 out is the tying run for New York. The big Moose waving that stick back and forth. Now steps it. Cups and misses. That was thrown fast and seemed to be around the shoulders on the outside. Strike 2. This guy loves that bend. That's when he drills to right. Sound of a plane. Pitch is swung on, foul back. When the wind is as it is right now, we got a lot of planes. You got a wonderful view of them. The wind is blowing, you might say, almost approximately from the stadium to LaGuardia. So they're taking off into it, which means they come along just slightly north of the ballpark. No ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 4 pitches. Karen hits to the curveball and fouls it. Into the dirt, strike 2. Nothing in 2. Being delivered. Pitching with a 1-0 lead. And having trouble, he's fighting for control. Deals high, a fastball, ball 1. 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. The run-up, pitches, Karen swings and fouls it back. Still 1 and 2. Right now, at the moment, you might say you got strength against strength, the way Score is throwing, and you got the mighty Moose up there pushing that wood. The pitcher to Maris is called on first base. There he goes to second, and he makes it in there safely. Maris had a big jump, and he thought that Score was going to pitch and start it. And Score threw the ball to first base to Severs, and Maris just kept going so swiftly that nobody could cover second base in time to take Severs' throw. So it's a stolen base for Maris. So the tying run is now at second base. John has a chance to pick it up. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. 4 pitches, and it is on the outside. Ball 2. Maris is taking a long lead. We told you earlier that it's hard for Score with this very long backswing move of his to hold men on closely. Roger was off, got a good jump. He's taking a dancing long lead at second. John swings at the ground ball to the left. Zito comes up with a Score, throws to first, but not in time. John beats it out. But with the ball hit ahead of him to the hole between short and third, Maris, of course, couldn't go over. So he is still contained at second base. But the thing to the short, John is hitting him in any form or fashion. And this is the first hit-off Score. Got the first hit for the Yankees in the first game. Off to the 5th. Now here is Mantle, who took a 3rd strike in the first inning. Mickey hitting 271. Runners at first and second. 1 out. 1-0 game Chicago. Mickey swings at the far ball to deep right center field. But he stretches out in front of the scoreboard. Makes the catch. Maris goes from second over to third after the catch. So that is the second out. First and third, and the batter is Howard, who popped the shortstop in the second inning. 1-0 Chicago. It's the 3rd inning, and it is the 2nd time that Score has had the 3rd time he's had 2 men on. Gets steady, has runners at first and third. Rips it right in there for a strike. 0-1. Howard sets that powerful figure of his, right-hand batter. Feet widespread. Swings and fouls it back into the stands. Strike 2. Said this Karen leads the American League in batting with .332. Of course, that's got to be revised. The point is so upward. He just got that infield hit. 334 is what the figure is as he stands at first base. 3 hits today. Fastball is high. Ball 1. 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Score delivers, and Howard hits a high foul again into the stands. Still 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Joe Ginsberg settled down to give the sign. He's kept in the second game for Chicago. Lawler has caught the first 3 of the series. After the step back into right on Howard. Good. Swung on and missed. A curveball. He struck him out. The 4th strikeout. So Score continues to get into trouble and get himself out of it. We have come through 3 innings of the second game. The White Sox lead 1-0. They won the first game 6-3. And to fill you in statistics and data of the engagements in the various apple orchards around the nation is Mr. Rizzuto. Thank you, Red. And let's see what's happening around the league. In the American League, Boston defeated Cleveland in the first of 2, 10-6. In the second game, it's the Red Sox 7 and the Indians 4 at the end of 4 innings. Baltimore defeated Detroit 2-1 in 11 innings. Chuck Estrada all the way the winner. Sisler the loser. Kansas City beat Washington in the first of 2, 6-3. In the second game, it's the Senators 10 and Kansas City nothing, playing the top of the 9th inning. In the National League, the Dodgers came up with 8 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, and they lead the Phillies 8-0. That's at the end of 3. The Giants are leading Pittsburgh 6-0 at the end of 7. St. Louis leading Cincinnati 6-4, playing the bottom of the 9th inning. Milwaukee defeated the Cubs in the first game 7-5, and in the second game it's Milwaukee nothing, the Cubs nothing at the end of 5.5. See if the Pirates lose and Milwaukee wins the doubleheader. Let's see what Pete Callison has got down there for the National League. While he's interested in the National League too, Milwaukee will go into first place. They'll be 2 percentage points ahead of Pittsburgh. Right now the Pirates are losing 6-0. Milwaukee's won their first game and the second tie. 0-0 at the end of 5.5. Minnie Minoso takes a curve low outside, ball 1. Minnie bounced to third in the first inning. The White Sox leading this second ball game 1-0 in the top of the 4th. They won the first game 6-3. Eli Gerber ready. The pitch to Minoso. It's a drive to left center field. Lopez moving to his left. Under it, makes the catch of that solidly hit line drive. 1 away. Here's Roy Stevens, who singled up the middle in the second inning and came around and scored the only run of the ball game. Stevens had himself 2 base hits in the first game, a single and a homer. The official paid attendance, 60,002. The total, including servicemen, 61,043. And the total for the 3-game series, 137,007. Hey, a real good series, attendance-wise and game-wise, at least for the White Sox. They've taken 3 out of 4 and lead the 4th game. Pitch to Stevens, curve high inside, ball 1. While we're giving the attendance, Gerber snuck a strike over, so it's 1-1. Strike 1 out. Nobody on in the top of the 4th. Pitch to Stevens is a curve low outside. Ball 2, 2-1.
pitching. Plenty of time. He's ready now. The 2-1 delivery. There's a ground foul outside of third. 2-2. In the first game, the Yankees failed to hit a home run. They had hit homers in 11 consecutive ball games. One or more, but White Sox pitching of Pierce, Lown, and Bauman combined to keep the Yankees from hitting a homer. High 2-2 on Severs. Yogi Berra did not make an appearance in the first game, and he has not been in the second game as yet. Elston Howard catching the doubleheader with 2 left-hand pitches going for the White Sox. Yogi getting a rest. He hasn't been playing against left-hand pitches. Gerber takes so much time that Severs steps out of the box for the second time. All right, here's the 2-2 delivery. Curve, low, ball 3. 3-2. For the payoff pitch to Severs. Wind up. Curve is low, ball 4. He just missed below the knees. Trying to curve him on a 3-2 count. And that's the first base on balls given up by Gerber. Brings up Joe Ginsberg, who singled up the middle on a hit-and-run play, sending Severs to third from whence he scored on a ground ball by Smith. Joe Ginsberg picked up after the Orioles released him. Ginsberg is a strike on the outside corner. Joe came into this game batting .273, and he singled his first time at bat. Left-hand hitting catcher. 1 out. Darren playing in back of the runner at first base. McDougal is in at third. Boyer over close to second. Here's the stretch. It's a pitch out, and it's low, ball 1, 1 or more. And actually, it wasn't too far away from the plate. If they had the hit and run on, Ginsberg would have been able to reach the pitch. Whether he hit it or not, I don't know. Howard stepped way out to his left. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 man on. 1-0, the Sox lead. Stevens leading off first. He's ready to go. And there he goes. The ball is lined to center field. Another base hit. Stevens around second. He's trying for third. Handles up with it, and his throw comes in at second base. Severs and Ginsberg have worked the hit-and-run play twice perfectly. Ginsberg singling up the middle both times, and boy, you could tell Severs was going. He was really leaning. Like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. If Gerber had thrown over there, he'd have got Severs easy. He couldn't get back. Of course, it's easy for us to see up here, but not down there. Joe Ginsberg comes through with his second hit-and-run single up the middle, and it brings up Al Smith, who was up with the same situation in the second inning, hit into a fourth play to drive in Severs. The White Sox lead 1-0. They're threatening here. Here's the stretch by Gerber. Pitch to Smith, curve low outside, ball 1. Joe Ginsberg was with the Orioles earlier in the year. He beat the Yankees 2 games. He laid down a perfect squeeze bunt to drive in the winning run, and then he hit a double with the bases loaded to drive in 3 more. Here's the pitch. It's over. Strike 1 called. 1-1. So no matter what uniform Ginsberg puts on, he hurts the Yankees. It should always be a job for a fellow like Joe Ginsberg, hustling type catcher, always eager to play and plays the game to the hilt. And he's not a bad hitter. Not too much power, but gets his base hit. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back on the screen, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck is Gene Freeze. Ginsberg. Stevens with a short lead off third. Smith decides to call time and get the rosin back from Gene Freeze. Gerber has been taking a lot of time between pitches, which is all right, except that it bothers a lot of the hitters. So they'll step out. Here's the stretch. Curve is popped in the air to the infield. Cletus Boyer moving back under it. He's got it for the second out. That's a big out for Gerber. He fooled Smith on a change-up curveball and had Al way out in front. Here's Gene Freeze, who was robbed of at least a triple and possibly an inside-the-park homer on another sensational catch by Roger Maris in deep right center field. We have seen Maris make that play time and again this year, here at the stadium and on the road. Boy, anything that he can get his glove on is gone. 2 out, 2 on. Runners at first and third here in the top of the fourth, with the White Sox leading 1-0. Gerber stretches. The pitch to Freeze is high ball when Freeze was ready to drop a bunt down third as Gil McDougal with 2 outs. Hadn't quite figured on Freeze attempting a bunt with 2 away and a runner at third. Now Gil comes in a little. He was playing deep. No strikes on Freeze. The stretch by Gerber. Big pitch is outside. Ginsberg gave a good bluff as though he was stealing and then held up. Ball 2, 2-0. On deck is Sammy Esposito. Aparicio is not playing this second ball game. He hurt the palm of his left hand. His last time at bat in the first game, he could not swing and hold on to the bat with his left hand. He struck out, but he swung with just his right hand. So Louis is resting. Go to first base. Ginsberg's back. I love to watch Aparicio play shortstop. He can really cover the ground. The 2-0 pitch. Curve high inside, ball 3. Freeze goes down to get out of the way of that high inside curve. 3-0. Rice, the plate umpire, dusts off home plate. The 3-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 3-1. He curved him on a 3-0 pitch, realizing that Freeze was going to get the green light, and Gene was ready to swing, but was guessing for the fastball and was way off balance for the breaking stuff. So now it's 3-1 with 2 outs. See how Al Lopez plays this. Whether the gay senor sends Ginsberg on this pitch or waits. Here's the stretch. The pitch is a slow curve line to center field, a base hit. Stevens scores for the second time in the ball game, and the White Sox lead 2-0. Eli Gerber tried a change-up curveball on a 3-1 count, and Freeze reached across the plate to line a single over the bag in the center field. Driving in Roy Severs, who has scored both runs for the White Sox here in the second game, and it brings up Sammy Esposito, who hit back to the box in the second inning. 2 outs, 2-0 Chicago lead. Ginsberg with a big lead off second. Pitch to Sammy is popped in the air to second base. No Skowron cuts in front of Richardson and makes the catch. Sammy hit that right off the end of his bat. For the White Sox in the top of the fourth, 1 run. 2 base hits, no Yankee errors, 2 men left to score. At the end of 3.5 innings, Chicago 2 and the Yankees nothing.
You spend good money for your car, so naturally you want the very best performance from it. A dirty carburetor, however, can rob your car of power, cause stalling, rough idling, and waste gasoline. How can you keep your carburetor clean? At easy. Just use Atlantic Imperial gasoline. New Atlantic Imperial gasoline cleans your carburetor while you drive and keeps it clean. That's Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that ends the dirty carburetor problem for good. 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Herb's score over the first three. It looks like he's going to be a very rough article to do business with. Really humming that fastball in, and then that change curve, which he has been getting over. He is looking a bit like the Herb score of old, and of the lengthening shadows now. He's going to be all the rougher. McDougald, as we go to the bottom of the fourth, leads off for the Yankees. There's the pitch. Low inside, ball one. Given up just one base hit in 3 innings. That's an infield single to Skowron. 1-0 pitch, low, ball 2, 2-0. Score has walked 5 men, but he struck out 4 too. So looks like the score of old out on the mound if he can continue. Pitch, strike on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. Pitch is a ground ball in the hole and backhanded by Esposito. No chance for the play, though. Esposito made another beautiful backhand stab of the ball. He threw off balance to first, but McDougald beat it out easily. The second infield single to shortstop. Or first score. I doubt if even Louis Aparicio would have been able to throw McDougald out on that play. He might have on Skowron's first base hit, but not that one. Here's Bobby Richardson, who popped out to first base in the second inning. Score in the set position. Pitch to Richardson, inside, ball 1. Seaver's not holding McDougald close at first. If you can guess with score, and this is a big word, and get a running jump, you can steal second easily. Score takes a big wind-up. Ball 2, 2-0. Actually, it's not a wind-up with a runner on first, but he kicks that leg way up in the air and brings his arm back slowly. Roger Maris was quick to first and still managed to get a stolen base before Stevens could throw to second. Pitch, high, ball 3, 3-0. White Sox 2, Yankees nothing here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-0 count on Richardson. McDougald at first. Pitch is over, strike 1 call. Stretches. Inside, ball 4. Richardson walks, and that's the 6th walk given up by Scorer. The Yankees now with runners at first and second and nobody out, and here's Eli Gerber. Gerber walks in the second inning. Dean Freeze is way in at third. Roy Shivers coming in at first base. Eli Gerber looking down at Frank Crissetti. Finals, J. Hebert won it. There's a punt fouled on the first base line. Two brothers, Hebert brothers, were in the PGA. Lionel, who has won it twice before, and J. Hebert, who won it this time with a 281 score. Jim Ferrier was second with 282. So Arnold Palmer did not get the PGA championship.
be the first pro ever to win all three titles. The Masters, the Open, and the PGA. All right, here's the stretch by score. Look back at McDougal. The pitch, Gerber bunts it foul just below it. Strike two, 0-2. When Skurb is firing that high hot, when Score, I was going to say Herb Score, and I got them both together and said Skurb. When Herb Score is firing that high hot one, it's a tough pitch to bunt. Gerber is finding out right now the ball sort of rises a little bit. Either bunt it in the air or foul tip it. They're still looking for the bunt. Here's the stretch. The pitch is popped foul back in the upper deck. Out of play. 0-2. On deck is Hector Lopez. 2-0, the White Sox lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Stretch by Score. The pitch is pointed at. Score is up with it. Falls down. Close to first. In time to get Gerber. A pretty bunt by Eli Gerber. How many times we've seen that this year where the batter couldn't bunt until he had two strikes on him and then lays down a perfect bunt. Score fielded that ball, fell on his knees, bobbled it, picked it up, and threw from a kneeling position to Nellie Fox. But the sacrifice worked. From the pitcher to the second baseman, McDougal moves to third, Richardson to second. Here's Hector Lopez, who walks wide to center field. On deck, Cletus Boyer. Infield playing back. White Sox with a 2-run lead, willing to give up one rather than pull the infield in. The pitch to Lopez, high ball one. Score pitching with the full windup. Pitch is high ball 2, 2-0. Lopez steps out of the box to look down at Frank Crissetti. Yankees taking advantage of Score's wildness. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. He swung at a good pitch, a fastball about bells high. Two balls, one strike, and one out. Bill McDougal leading off third. Richardson off second. The pitch is a big hit to right field. McDougal scores, a throw to the plate, and Richardson scores. The ball game is tied up 2-2, and here comes Al Lopez. Hector Lopez hit a ground ball between first and second. Nellie Fox just couldn't get to it. McDougal scored from third. Richardson scored from second. And the ball game is all tied up 2-2. That was hit number 3 off Herb's Score. And it looks like that's all for Herbie. Score pitch 3 1/3 innings. Gave up just 3 base hits, but he walked 6, struck out 4, has allowed 2 runs. Should Lopez score, it'll be charged to Herb Score. And Russ Kemmer, the big right-hander, is coming on to relieve Herb. Score leaves and gets a nice round of applause. Fans remember when he really had it. Kemmer coming on is 6'3", 200 pounds from Fairfax, Virginia. This is his 20th appearance of the year. He's won 5 and lost 4. Relieved July 20th up at Boston. Pitched 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, walked 1, struck out 1, allowed 1 run. Frank Baumann was the winning pitcher in that ball game. Actually, Kemmer started that game. ball game's all tied up at 2-2. The White Sox won the first game 6-3. And even should the Yankees win this game, they cannot go back into first place today, at least. White Sox 2 games ahead of New York. The Yankees had defeated the White Sox 7 times in a row, both here and at Comiskey Park, before this series started. And then the White Sox came in and won the first 3 games of this 4-game series. This one is tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 4th. 1 out, Lopez at first. Here's an interesting note. Next Saturday will be Casey Stengel's 70th birthday. The old professor. You'd never know it by the way he acts. Listen to him tell stories and the way he moves around explaining plays. Man, I'd like to be in his shape at 70, if I ever reach 70. We thought you'd like to know, because maybe we figured you'd want to be on hand to help salute Casey Stengel and celebrate his 70th birthday. By the way, the Yankees will be playing Kansas City. Here's Cletus Boyer, who bounced to third in the first inning and struck out in the third. One away. Steve is holding Lopez on the pitch. The Boyer is swung at and missed strike 1. That was Hector's first base hit of the afternoon, by the way. Came at a very opportune moment. Boyer bunts the ball fair down the first base line. Steve is up with it, races to the bag for the unassisted putout. But the sacrifice works and Lopez goes down to second base. So Casey Stengel figures that they're getting nowhere swinging at the ball. They've got to try a few sacrifices. The last one worked perfectly, where Gerber sacrificed, McDougal a third, Richardson a second. They scored on Lopez's single. Here's Roger Maris, who struck out and walked. Roger was 1 for 4 in the first game. 2 outs, 2-2 to score. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Joe Ginsberg scored it at the corner. Fastball line to center field. Coming on fast, can't get it. The base hit, and Lopez scores, and the Yankees lead 3-2. So the sacrifices have paid off here. In the bottom of the 4th inning, 2 sacrifice bunts, advanced men that was scored. The Moose, who walked in singles, batting .336, hits one right back at Emery, knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first for the out. And the only thing that kept that from being a base hit was Kimmer's body. He couldn't get it out of the way. They hit him right in the breadbasket and dropped down. He threw him out. Solid line drive, but the Yankees pick up 3 runs here in the bottom of the 4th on 3 base hits. No White Sox errors. 1 man left to score at the end of 4 full innings. The Yankees 3, the White Sox 2, and we pause for station identification.
1460 on the dial, WOKO, Albany.
On the scoreboard, Boston defeated Cleveland in the first of 2, 10-6. In the second game, it's the Red Sox 7, the Indians 6 at the end of 7. Baltimore defeated Detroit 2-1 in 11 innings. Kansas City split with Washington. The A's won the first game 6-3. The Senators the second 10-2. In the National League, the Dodgers lead the Phillies 8-0 at the end of 4 1/2. The Giants are leading the Pirates 6-0 going into the 9th. But listen to this. Odell was taken out in the 9th for Antonelli, who in turn was replaced by Billy Lowe's, who in turn was replaced by Mike McCormick. 4 pitches in the 9th inning. And we still have no score on that ball game. So Pittsburgh is definitely threatening, but we'll let you know. The Cardinals defeated Cincinnati coming up with 2 runs in the top of the 9th, and the Cardinals are red hot. They won 6-5. Milwaukee won the first game of a doubleheader over the Cubs 7-5, and the second game is 0-0 at the end of 8 innings.
We will.
Russ Kemmerer leading off. And we'd like to tell you that the second half of this game is being brought to you by the crisp refresher Ballantine beer. You know, Ballantine's a light beer with true lager flavor, and that's what makes it the crisp refresher. The first pitch to Kemmerer is a strike on the outside corner. Kemmerer looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 19. Swings and misses a big change-up curve, strike 2. Herb Score popped out to the shortstop in his only appearance at the plate. And though Score was not hit hard, it was his wildness that helped get him out of there. Herb walked 6 men. He gave up only 3 hits. 2-strike pitch, low outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 of the 3 hits off Herb were infield hits, and the third one just missed the ground ball that Nellie Fox almost got. Curveball swung and a missed, strike 3. Gerber gets his first strikeout of the ball game. And here's Joe Hicks singled, bounced to second. Joe Hicks, center fielder, playing in place of Jim Landis, who has the injured left wrist. Fastball over the knees, strike 1. Change up low outside, ball 1, 1-1. Fox on deck. Gerber checks the sign from Elston Howard. Change-up hit down at first base. Down and backhands it on a bad hop. Flips to Gerber covering in time for the out. Here's Nellie Fox, who's 0 for 2 in this game. Hit into a double play, slide to center field. Fox was 2 for 5 in the first game. Has 2,001 hits in his major league career now. 2 out, nobody on. Yankees 3, White Sox 2 in the top of the 5th. On deck, Minnie Minoso. Pitch to Fox is popped in the air. Mickey Mantle moving back. Comes under it and makes the catch. So the White Sox are down 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th. Nothing across the score at the end of 4.5 innings. New York 3, Chicago 2. bottom of the fifth, Mickey Mantle. Mickey was called out on strike and flying to right field. Still no score on that Pirate ninth inning out at San Francisco. 35 minutes they've been on. There's no rain. We haven't had any report on home runs. Giants have used 4 pitchers in that ball game in the ninth inning. Odell, Antonelli, Lowe's, and McCormick. The Giants leading 6-0 going into the top of the ninth. But things are happening. All right, the pitch to Mantle is a curve hit. Deep to right field. That one is gone way up there. Way back in the upper deck. On home runs. Giants have used 4 pitchers in that ball game in the ninth inning. Odell, Antonelli, Lowe's, and McCormick. The Giants leading 6-0 going into the top of the ninth. But things are happening. All right, the pitch to Mantle is a curve hit. Deep to right field. That one is gone way up there. Way back in the upper deck. For a second like it was going to go completely out of Yankee Stadium. It was high and deep in the upper deck. His 24th homer of the year. And the Yankees now lead 4-2. Elston Howard takes a strike. Let's see, off White Sox pitching. He hit one off Wynn, off Shaw, off Moore, off Bauman, off Lown, off Rush. He's had pretty good luck. And now one off Simra. 2 strikes on Elston Howard. Boy, did Mantle tee off on that one. At one time, that ball was high enough to be out of the stadium, but it came down, about 15 rows back in the upper deck. There's the pitch, low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So that's the first home run by any Yankee in today's doubleheader so far. First game broken 11 consecutive game this week in which the Yankees have hit 1 or more homers. The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Curve fouled on the third base line. Picked up by Frank Crissetti. That's Chris' chance to close out all day, and he didn't boot it. Up. The pitch is hit on the ground is short. Esposito backs up with it. Throws to Stevens for the out. That's 1 away. Brings up Gil McDougall, who beat out an infield single in the 4th inning. Gil walked in the 2nd inning. McDougall, a curve low outside, ball 1. Kemmer into the windup. Curve in the dirt, ball 2, 2-0. Nobody on. 2-0 pitch low outside, ball 3. 3-0. Nothing pitch is a fastball right down the middle, strike 1. 3-1. pitches. A changeup swung at a missed strike two, and Gill was going for the downs on that one. Was way out front. Full count now on McDougal. Yankees leading 4-2 here in the bottom of the fifth. One out, nobody on. Payoff pitch is line to right field. There's a base hit. Smith over to his left. Gill around first base, then holds on. Smitty's throw comes into second base. McDougal gets his second base hit of the ball game. A line single to right. That's hit number 3 off camera. And here's Bobby Richardson, who pops to first and walks. Has gone in to pitch for the Cubs in the ninth. That's a 0-0 ball game with Milwaukee. McDougal leads off first. There goes Gill. The ball is hit on the ground to third base. Going to have to hustle. Freeze lets it roll, and it goes foul. That's the only thing Freeze could do, because Richardson would have beaten it out. Milwaukee scored 1 run in the top of the ninth. The Cubs are batting in the bottom of the ninth. So if Milwaukee sweeps this doubleheader and the Pirates lose, the Braves go into first place. Yankees had the hit-and-run play on there. And Bobby popped one down the third base line. Strike one. One away. Stevens now holding first against McDougal. Here's the stretch. Pitch is popped to right field. Smith is right there to make the catch. Richardson threw his bat at that ball, and Crissetti's coming in from third to field the bat. Flips it to the Yankee bat boy. That's 2 away, and here comes Eli Gerber. Gerber has not been up officially. He walked and sacrificed, and his sacrifice was a mighty important one in the 4th inning. He had 2 strikes on him when he laid down a perfect bunt that advanced McDougal to third. And Richardson to second, and they both scored on a single by Lopez. So that was a very important sacrifice bunt. 2 out. Pitch to Gerber. Low, ball 1. Here's the stretch. Pitch is swung at a miss. Strike 1, 1-1. McDougal, the ball is hit on the ground, it's short. Esposito throws to Fox, he's safe, and Fox drops the ball. McDougal's on to third, the throw to third, and Gill is out at third. A very unusual play in that Esposito had no chance to get McDougal going into second as Gill was running. Sammy picked the ball up and nonchalantly flipped to Fox, but Gill was already at second. Fox started to throw to first as he drew his arm back. It hit McDougal as he was coming around second. The ball popped out of his hand. The runner was safe at first. Gill kept going to third. Fox picked up the ball and fired to Freeze, who put the tag on McDougal. So that goes as a fielder's choice. And we'll wait and see exactly what happens. But for the Yankees, they score 1 run on a homer by Mantle. There were 2 base hits in the inning, no errors, and 1 man left. It's a fielder's choice to play going from 6 to 4 to 5. So the score at the end of 5 full innings now, the Yankees 4 and the White Sox 2. That was quite an unusual play. And let's pause for station identification.
This is WOKO, Albany, 1450 on your dial.
There's still nothing to report on that Pittsburgh-San Francisco game. The Giants still lead 6-0 in the top of the ninth, but 4 Giant pitchers have been in there in the ninth inning. It's a long inning. Meanwhile, Boston defeated Cleveland 10-6 in the second game at the Red Sox 7. The Indians 6. Baltimore beat Detroit 2-1 in 11 innings. Kansas City split with Washington 6-3. They won the first game. Washington won the second 10-2. Dodgers lead the Phillies 9-0 at the end of 5 1/2. Cardinals beat Cincinnati 6-5. The Giant game, as we told you, 6-0. The Giants lead in the ninth. Milwaukee beat Chicago in the first game 7-5 and lead in the second 1-0, playing the bottom of the ninth. Here's Minnie Minoso. Bounced to third and lined out to left. 4-2, the Yankees lead. Eli Gerber out on the mound. The right-handed pitch to Minoso is a curve outside, ball 1. Gerber trying to give the Yankees a split on this doubleheader, which will keep the Yankees just 9 percentage points in back of the White Sox. Not quite a full game. The 1-0 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. 1-1. Minnie is yelling at the Yankee bench. Somebody on the Yankee bench is getting on the Minoso. Slow curve outside. Ball 2. 2-1. 3 runs the Pirates came up with. So the Giants sweep the doubleheader. Rather sweep for one game with the Pirates, 6-3. And if Milwaukee holds on to their 1-0 lead, they take over the lead in the National League. 2-1 pitch is lined to base hit to right field. Bass Richardson. Maris is up with it. Minoso's on with a single. Hit number 6 off Gerber. Here's Roy Severs. Severs singled and walked. He scored twice in this ballgame. So Odell's the winner. Pirates came up with 3 runs. Against Minoso. Here's the stretch by Gerber. Curve is hit high in the air to right center field. Mantle moving over to his left. Is under it and makes the catch. 1 away. Brings up Joe Ginsberg, who's 2 for 2. 2 singles to center field. Both on hit and run plays. Left-hand hitting catcher. White Sox 2 here in the top of the 6th. Gerber's pitch to Ginsberg is a curve high outside. Ball 1. To first, but Minoso was standing on the bag. Stretch by Deb. Another throw to first, and Minnie's back. Almost a wild throw to first. Nice backhand stop by the Moose. Pitch is in there. Strike 1, 1-1. And 1 out. Minoso leads off first. Curveball is over. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. field, but curving foul out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Joe. The Yankees leading the White Sox here in the top of the 6th. 1 out. Minoso's at first. Low curve is way outside. Ball 2, 2-2. So Milwaukee wins that game 1-0. Buell pitched a 4-hitter. And Milwaukee is in first place by 2 percentage points over the Pittsburgh Pirates. How do you like that? Charlie Griffin and the Braves are on top. Keeps saying he's got the best team in the National League. Curve hit on the ground, foul outside of first. 2-2 the count. I think both races are going to go right down to the wire. The teams are too evenly balanced in both leagues for anybody to make a runaway. There goes Minoso. The ball is swung and a miss. The throw to second is bad, and Minoso's in there with a stolen base. Howard's throw was to the first base side of second base and high, and Minoso went in with a head-first slide and beat the throw. Ginsberg is struck out. It's a stolen base for Minoso. Minnie's 12th stolen base of the year. Brings up Al Smith, who bounced to short and popped to short. 4-2, the Yankees lead their second game. White Sox won the first game 6-3. High ball 1. The overhand curveball just missed outside. Checking the sign from Howard. Here's the stretch. Curve over, strike 1, 1-1. Leading off second. Slow curve hit deep to left foot foul. Boy, that is way back in the upper deck. Woo! He double hits on a change-up curveball eye high and really creamed it. Out in front though and pulled it foul. Nettles hit 2 shots. He hit 1 foul in the first game, just as far as he hit the home run here in the second game. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Smith. 2 men out. Here's a stretch by Gerber. His curve is fouled back on the screen. Smith hesitated. He swung very late at that. Wasn't going to swing till the last second and just didn't get a piece of it. Back at Minoso. High pop up to the infield. Elston Howard territory makes the catch. For Chicago, in the top of the sixth inning, no runs, one hit, no Yankee errors, and one man left, and a score at the end of 5.5 innings. New York, 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Chicago, 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Well, a lot of Chicago fans here today came in from Chicago to see this series. And when it comes to having a favorite team, I'm sure you have a preference. Along these same lines, I'm sure many of you have a preference as to the type of glass you like your beer served in. Well, that's a matter of personal taste. What counts is what's in the glass. And there's one beer that delivers top taste and refreshment in any glass. I mean the crisp refresher Ballantine beer. That Golden Ballantine is mighty refreshing. Now, when it comes to flavor, Ballantine's the light beer with 2 lager flavor. It proves the beer can be truly light and still give you all the downright delicious lager beer flavor you want. That's the reason why Ballantine beer is the crisp refresher. So enjoy the one beer that tastes great anytime in any glass. Enjoy light, delicious Ballantine beer, the crisp refresher. For the Yankees in the bottom of the sixth, it'll be the top of the batting order, Lopez, Boyer, and Maris. Hector with a big single drove in 2 runs in the 4th inning. He walked in the first, fly to center in the second. First pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1 call. Russ Kemmer is on the mound, took over for Herb's score in the 4th inning. Herb was a little bit wild today. Curve low inside, ball 1-1-1. Backhanded by Esposito to throw to first. Low and can't be held by Stevens. And that could go as a base hit. It was a nice backhand stop by Esposito. The long throw was in the dirt. Stevens tried to backhand it, but it just popped out of his glove. And Esposito is charged with an error. By the official scorer. Kubeck is coming out to run for Lopez. An error is charged to Esposito. Sammy's had some tough chances out there at shortstop. And it looks like that's all for Kemmer. Another unusual play. Had Esposito thrown Lopez out, Kemmer would have stayed in the ball game. In the first game, Fifth was almost taken out because Serve was coming up as a pinch hitter, but and Casey yanked the Serve back in, put the Macy up, Pierce stayed in and got credit for the win. But Sammy Esposito has had a rough afternoon here. He has not played badly, but he has had 3 chances exactly like that one. Going far to his right, backhanding the ball, having the long throw to make. And he has not gotten any of the 3, but they have given him an error on this one. At least on the other 2, they were given base hits. Dick Donovan, the big right-hander, is coming on. Replaces Kemmer. So let's see how many innings Kemmer pitched. Pitched 1 and 2/3 innings. Kemmer pitched 1 and 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits and 1 run. The home of the Nationals. Dick Donovan, who's 6'3" and 205 pounds, from Quincy, Massachusetts, making his 23rd appearance of the year. He's won 4 and lost 1. He relieved against Baltimore on July 16th, pitched 1 inning. Didn't give up any hits or runs. Lopez is not taking any chances with his pitching. Kemmer was not hit too hard. Single by Lopez, a homer by Mantle, and a single by McDougal. It's the first time I've seen a pitcher taken out because of an error. Kubeck is at first base, running for Hector Lopez, and will probably remain in the game and play left field. Donovan will be pitching to Boyer, Maris, and Skowron here in the bottom of the sixth. The Yankees leading 4-2. Chicago won the first game 6-3. Now lead the Yankees by 2 full games. Baltimore picked up a full game on New York. Well, let's see. The Orioles are now a game and a half behind the Yankees. Cleveland did not pick up any ground as they lost their first game to the Red Sox, and they're losing the second game 7-6 going in the 8th inning. Washington, Kansas City split a doubleheader. The A's won the first 6-3. The Senators the second 10-2. Giants beat Pittsburgh 6-3. Milwaukee took 2 from the Cubs, winning the first place in the National League, 1-0 7-5. Cardinals beat Cincinnati 6-5. Pitching the Boyer. They changed it to a base hit, the official score, and that makes Pete Callison and Pappy Durkin and I very happy. They have given Hector Lopez a base hit on that tough chance by Sammy Esposito. Third, struck out and sacrificed. White Sox looking for another sacrifice. Here's the stretch. Kubeck leads off first. The pitch is low, ball 1, and Boyer was ready to bunt, had squared around, took it low. Takes it a low, ball 2, 2-0. Again, he was ready to bunt. 4-2, the Yankees lead. Kubeck at first, running for Lopez. Nobody out. Here's the stretch. Throw to first. Kubeck back. Big Donovan into his stretch position. Pitch is over. Strike 1 call. 2-1 the count. Here's the stretch. Pitch is bunted. Out to the mound. Donovan goes to Fox covering in time to get Boyer, but again the sacrifice works. Second time that Boyer has sacrificed successfully from the pitcher, the second baseman. Here's Roger Maris. Maris struck out, walked, and singled. Has driven in 1 run. That was Roger's 77th run batted in of the year. In the first game, Roger did not have an RBI. He was 1 for 4, had a single, scored 1. Kubeck at second with 1 away. Ground ball up the middle, and it's a base hit, and Kubeck will score easily. hit it right off the end of his bat. Fox couldn't do a thing with it. He almost took his glove off and threw it at it. It was hit so slow, but Fox was playing Maris in the hole. And Roger gets his second RBI. And each time that the Yankees have sacrificed in their second game, it has paid off. The Yankees lead 5-2. Have scored after men were sacrificed along. The one homer by Mantle, of course, didn't need a sacrifice. Here's Bill Skowron. Walk, single, hit back to the box. The Moose has a 10-game hitting streak. Now batting .333. Ground ball right between Donovan's legs out to center field. Now it's going to try for third. The throw is cut off by Esposito. Holy cow, I want to tell you. That was a line drive right between Donovan's legs. He didn't have a chance to move. Runners at first and third. One out. Here's Mickey Mantle. Mickey struck out fly to right and hit a tremendous home run deep in the right field upper deck. 5-2 the Yankees lead. Moose had 2 hits in the first game. He's got 2 hits here in the second game. He's now batting .336. The stretch. The pitch to Mickey. Low inside, ball 1. First and third with 1 out. Pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. On deck, Elston Howard. Pitch to Mickey is a ground ball, base hit to right field. Harris scores. Skowron's going to third base, and Mantle's on with an RBI single. That run charged to Donovan, and the Yankees lead 6-2. Maris comes across to score. His second hit of the ball game gives him 2 RBIs, 58 on the year. Lopez driven in 2, Maris 2, and Mantle 2. Where the White Sox won the first game. Stevens drove in 2, Freeze 2, and Pierce 2. Here's Elston Howard. 0 for 3. Popped to short, struck out, bounced to short. Pitch, strike on the outside corner. And the pitch is low. Ball 1, 1-1. Bill McDougall is on deck. Howard swings and misses a fastball. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stretches. Pitch is fouled back. Right over our heads and out of play. strikes and 1 out. The pitch is popped in the air to center field. Pitch is coming in under it. Garland tagging. And he'll score after the catch easily on the sacrifice fly to center field. And the Yankees lead 7-2. Mantle held at first. Looks like Hicks has a sore arm or something out there in center field. He's not throwing very well anyway. Brings up Gil McDougal, who is 2 for 2. A walk, beat out an infield single to right. With 2 away. There goes Mickey. He got a good jump at McDougal, fouled off the pitch. Oh, man, what a running jump Mantle had. Woo-wee. Fox told Mickey it was a foul ball, but Mickey didn't believe Nelly. So he asked second base umpire Joe Paparella, and Joe told him it was foul. What a running jump Mantle had. Could have stolen second easily, but Gil swung at the pitch and fouled it off. To the fans yelling, go, go, go. There he goes. Another good jump to throw. He's in there. Holy cow. Mickey gets his 8th stolen base of the year. And everybody in the park knew he was going, including Donovan and Ginsberg. It was not Ginsberg's fault. Mickey got a good running jump on the pitcher, and Joe made a good throw. But Mantle was really tearing down the line. That was a ball on Gil, 1-1. Now they want Mickey to steal third. If they get there, they want him to steal home. Ground ball. Donovan up with it. Knocks it down. Picks it up. Throws to first for the out. Excitement there in the bottom of the 6th. 3 runs for the Yankees. 1, 2, 3, 4 base hits. No White Sox errors. 1 man left, and the score at the end of 6th innings. The Yankees 7 and the White Sox 2. And we pause for station identification.
WOKO, Albany, 1450 on your dial.
Cleveland Indians come into town on Tuesday night. A big doubleheader on Wednesday afternoon, and then another night game on Thursday night. So we've got plenty of action for you fans coming along the rest of this week. Yankees have a battle on their hands right now. The White Sox leading the American League by 2 full games. Although the Yankees win this, they'll cut it to 1. Tony Kubeck, who ran for Hector Lopez, remains in the game to play left field. So the Yankees finally broke loose in this second game of the doubleheader against the White Sox. Pitch game from Eli Gerber, and we're ready to go now here in the top of the 7th inning, and ready to bring you the rest of the ball game is Mel Allen.
Tony Kubeck in left field as we play in the 7th. Gene Freese at bat. Sam Esposito on deck. And Dick Donovan scheduled to follow. Eli Gerber ready to pitch to Freese, who flied to right center and single to center. The pitch is a curve over for a strike. The right-hander to the windup, and the next pitch change-up is hits out towards short and through for a base hit. There's a twister. And Freese is on. Sawyer recovered the ball in short center. Torgerson's going to come up and bat for Esposito. Torgerson, a left-hand hitter, batting .297. And Ted Pazuski is going to bat for Donovan. The first pitch is low for a ball. Away from first. Nobody out. The pitch to Torge is inside. Ball 2-0. Al Lopez sending up his shot troop. Yankee bullpen busy. Gerber in the stretch. Here's the pitch to Torge. Swung on and bounced through into right field for a base hit. Freeze stops at second. Earl Torgerson, who had a .348 pinch hitting mark, 8 for 23, comes through again, and here's Pazuski coming up. That's Pazuski batting for Dick Donovan. Hitting .262. Nobody out in the 7th inning. Eli Gerber ready. And the pitch is low, ball 1. Second, Torge off first. The pitch to Pazuski. It's in the dirt. No advance. Ball 2, 2-0. A 2-0 count. On deck, Fox and Minosa to follow. Runners lead away from first and second. The pitch to Pazuski, swung on, line outside the second. Poirier steps on second, throws to first, and gets the double play. Going to third is Freeze. Torge had to hold up, thinking the line drive might be caught and didn't run. Poirier made a fine play. Fielded the ball behind second. Stepped on second, threw on the first, and doubled Pazuski. Freeze moving to third. Almost had an interference there at first base. Torge, who's in the way of the throw. Two men there at first. Here's the pitch to Hicks, and it's high for a ball. Single to center, grounded to second, and grounded to first. Joe Hicks, the left-hand batter. Freeze on third. Gerber to the windup, and the pitch swung on. There's a high drive to deep right. Maris going way back. That ball is going to be caught by Maris at the bag. the White Sox 2. Is coming into pitch in the last half of the seventh inning. Dick Donovan worked one inning, allowed 3 hits, no walks or strikeouts, and was charged with 2 runs. Kimmerer, in an inning and 2/3, gave up 4 hits. His 6th appearance with the White Sox. He purchased on waivers from the Braves on June the 11th. His first 2 appearances were against the Yankees, and 2 runs. Bob Rush, in making his 6th appearance with the White Sox, was purchased on waivers from the Braves on June the 11th. His first 2 appearances were against the Yankees. Louis Aparicio is playing shortstop in place of Sam Esposito, for whom Torgey batted. Rush pitching. White Sox won the first game 6-3. Bobby Richardson up, fouled out the first, walked and flied to right. Rush, the right-hander, delivers high, ball 1. Delivers low, ball 2, 2-0. Rush is 6-5. Now the 2-0 pitch to Richardson. Bunted, and Severs comes off and flips, but Bobby beats it. He slid in there and gets himself a base hit. And Fox argue with Al Smith. Now Al Lopez comes out of the dugout. Richardson shoved a bunt and pulled Severs off. He had to toss the Rush, and Bobby slid in and beat it for a base hit. Al Lopez arguing with Al Smith. To the White Sox dugout. Eli Gerber coming up, walk, sacrifice. And hit into a fielder's choice play. Richardson on first. Rush to the stretch. The pitch in there for strike. 0-1. 7-2 New York, 7th inning. Bob Rush throws over. Richardson on the bag. Another throw over, Bob's back. Gerber steps out of the batter's box now. Freeze shortened up at third. Rush into the stretch. And the pitch. It's in there. Strike two. 0-2. Two strikes. Bob Rush throws over. Richardson's back. Again, the stretch by Rush, and the pitch is a pitch out. Runner's not going. 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Again to his stretch, and the pitch outside, ball 2, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Throw over to first. Richardson's back. The pitch swung on and looped into short center, and the ball is dropping for a base hit. Richardson stops at second. Eli Gerber drops the Texas Lake single to center. Now coming up is Tony Kubeck, who went in the run for Lopez in the sixth inning. Batting .282. For the Yankees, the White Sox have had 8. Rush into the stretch now, and the pitch to Tony, bunted, and Rush is up with it, plays it to Fox, who almost didn't make the bag. He had his foot off and then just got it on there in time. Sacrificed by Kubeck. He's out. Rush to Fox, who's covered. Moving Richardson to third and Gerber to second. Bringing up Cleet Boyer, who grounded to third, struck out, sacrificed twice. 1 out and 2 on. The infield in for play at the plate. Rush into the windup. The pitch to Boyer. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. And the pitch to Boyer. And they got him trapped off third. But Richardson got back. Aparicio came racing over behind. Freeze had broken into the plate. The squeeze is on. Bobby had come up the line with Freeze. And when the pitch was the ball, Bobby had to slam on the brakes, race back. Aparicio came speeding over and took the throw from Ginsburg behind the bag. Almost got him. That would have been a sensational play if they made it. Remember, Aparicio is in at the grass with the infield in and over toward the hole. He didn't have too far to go, but still would have been a marvelous play if they had executed it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and the squeeze is on, and here comes Richardson in to score. Sievers throws to Fox. Boyer's out. Gerber goes to third. 8-2 New York. Boyer is credited with his third straight sacrifice. Is out. Sievers to Fox is credited with a run batted in. 8-2. Boyer's 25th run batted in. The Yankees' 5th sacrifice in this game. Here's Roger Maris, who's at 2 for 3. Swings and misses. Strike one. He was going for the down. Boyer sacrificed 3 times. The record for most sacrifices in the game by a team is 8. Cincinnati did it in 1926. The Yankees in 1918. The White Sox in 1927. Here's the pitch inside for a ball. And the Browns in 1928. 1 ball, 1 strike on Maris. Gerber on third, 2 outs, 1 in. Bob Rush to the windup and the pitch. Swung on and popped high in the air, foul. Coming back, and it's going to be out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boyer's just 1 short of the record for most sacrifices in a game by an individual. He's had 3. The record is 4. Jake Daubert with the Dodgers, Wade Phillipper with Washington, John Barry with the Red Sox, and Ray Chapman with the Indians. All had 4 in one game. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gerber on third. Bob Rush to the windup. The pitch to Roger Maris. High, ball 2, 2-2. New York, last of the 7th. The windup and the 2-2 pitch. Maris swings and it's a roller to third. Freeze up with a switch on to first in time, and the side's retired. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 7 innings, New York 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors. 10 left on. The White Sox 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 5 men left on base. Cleveland will be here Tuesday night. A doubleheader Wednesday afternoon. An extra night game Thursday night to make up for an earlier rained-out game. Remember now, that looks on your schedule to be an open date. Been filled in with a night game Thursday night. Then Kansas City is in Friday night, Saturday afternoon, a doubleheader on Sunday. And the Tigers August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with night games. The August 2nd night game is a makeup game. There'll be a day game that day, too. 2 separate admissions. Meantime, be sure to fill up with a good supply. That is at home. Valentine beer, or when you happen to drop into your favorite tavern. The light beer with true lager flavor. Valentine beer, the crisp perfection. We pause for station identification. 1450 on the dial, WOKO, Albany. Leads off, hitting second in the order. Minosa on deck and Severs to follow. Fox hits to the box into a double play, fly to left center, and fly to center. Eli Gerber has the sign. Fox steps out. Back in. Gerber to the windup and the pitch outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Fox. In there, strike 1, 1-1. This is the most important game, I believe, that Gerber has ever pitched. From the standpoint of its significance. When a team is deep in the throes of a slump. And they're playing a team that just has overtaken them for first place and has swept 3. This is indeed a crucial game. Here's the pitch, and it's high. Ball 2, 2-1. Means a difference, for example, of 2 games in the standings. White Sox will go out of here either 3 ahead or 2 ahead, or 1 ahead. Here's the pitch, swung on, it's a high foul down the right field line. It's going to go out of play. Strike 2, 2-2. That does not take into account the various psychological factors, team morale factors. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gerber to the windup. Here's the pitch to Fox. Swung on and popped up to short. Boyer is under it. He has it and has one away. Now Minnie Minoso rounded to third, line to left, and singled to right. Hitting .324. The 8-2 New York. White Sox won the opener 6-3. The pitch is outside, ball 1, curveball. Comes in with it, and Minnie swings and lifts a high pop-up into very short left. Boyer dances over, under, and makes the catch, and they're 2 away. 2 out in the 8th. And to the plate comes Sizzling Sievers. Single to center, walk, and fly to center. Batting .302 on the season. Hit safely in 25 of his last 27 games, 21 of them consecutively. The pitch to Roy in there for a strike. Now the pitch. Change up is in there nicely. Strike 2, nothing in 2. Count on Roy. Gerber to the windup, delivers. Fastball hits down the right field line, foul and out of play. Gerber's next pitch. Swung on line, right back through the middle for a base hit. That one went right back over the right shoulder of Gerber. Sievers singles to center. Joe Ginsberg coming up. I don't know if that ball mixed Gerber on the arm, shoulder or not. Howard and Richardson out there talking to him. Sievers had 2 out of 5 in the first game, including a home run. Joe Ginsberg up. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 1. Ginsberg singled to center twice and struck out. 47 games, counting this, and Severs has had 41 out of 104. Ginsburg takes outside for a ball, 1-1, for 394 pace. One ball, one strike. And the delivery. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. In the eighth inning, one on. Ginsburg at bat, Smith on deck. Gerber ready. Here's the pitch, and it's in there. Strike 2, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Playing in behind Severs. Gerber into the stretch, and the pitch swung on and hit on a hop to Richardson. He throws over to Skowron in time, and Ginsburg is retired. Bobby was playing him out on the grass a step, to give him a little more range left or right. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. At the end of 7.5 innings, New York 8, Chicago 2. Chicago won the first game 6-3. Half of the 8th inning. Bill Skowron first up. Mantle on deck and Howard to follow. Skowron walked, single to short, hit to the box, and single to center. 2 for 3. And in the first game, Moose had 2 for 4. He's hitting .336. He's on a pretty good streak, leading the league in hitting. Bob Rush to the windup, and the pitch to Skowron. Outside, ball 1. Delivery, swung on and missed, strike 1. Moose had 3 out of 4 Friday night, 3 out of 4 Saturday. Had 6 for 8. For the first 2 games. Right now, the 1-1 pitch. Hits outside, ball 2. He's had 10 out of 15 in this series. He's hitting .318 when the series began. He's hitting .336 right now. The 2-1 delivery. Swung on and foul back. Strike 2, 2-2. New York 8, Chicago 2, 8th inning. Into the windup. Around comes the right arm, and the 2-2 pitch. Sails high and inside. Ball 3, 3-2. Full count. The windup and the payoff pitch. In there for call, strike 3. Moose took change of pace for the third strike. Here's Mantle, who took a third strike, fly to right. Hit a towering homer into the third deck in right field and single to right. Stole second. 2 runs batted in. Bob Rush ready to work. Swings into the windup. Now the pitch to Mantle. High and inside, ball 1. Next delivery to Mantle is in there. Strike 1, 1-1. Out of 3 in the opener and 2 for 4 in this game. The 1-1 pitch. High, ball 2, 2-1. up, and the pitch to Mickey. Swung on and missed. Strike two. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count. Here's the pitch, and a tie for ball 3, 3-2. Now the payoff pitch on its way. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And there's 2 down the 8th. 3 strikeouts for Russ. Elston Howard coming to bat. Popped to short, struck out, grounded to short, had a sacrifice fly. Bob rushed his wind-up, and the pitch swung on, hit into right center field for a base hit. Howard turns first, Smith backhands the ball, throws in, and Howard eases up, going into second with a stand-up double. That brings to the plate Gil McDougall. Drew a pass, single to short, single to right, and hit to the box. 2 for 3. The 13th hit for New York. 8-2, last of the 8th. Pitches to Gill, low outside, ball 1. Now the pitch. Ball 2. 3.5 speed pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. To the stretch, he delivers. McDougall takes the curve, and it's over. Strike 1, 2-1. A 2-1 count on Gill. Hicks is shading him a little bit to right center. Here's the delivery, swung on, fouled off in the upper deck to the right of the plate. Evening the count at 2-2. Away. Here's the pitch. Curve is outside. Let up curve. Full count on McDougall. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Howard leading away from second. Bob Rush delivers, and McDougall swings and misses on a let up curve. Strike 3. Rush struck out the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. At the end of 8 innings, Yankees 8 runs, 13 hits, no errors. Chicago 2 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Looking at the Valentine scoreboard, Boston beat Cleveland a doubleheader, 10-6. Monbouquet beat Bell. Francona and Geiger homering. Geiger went on. And 7-6. Cornelius in relief of Sullivan, the winner. Harshman, the loser. Malzone homered with 1 on. Baltimore defeated Detroit in 11 innings, 2-1. Estrada went all the way to win fifth early, bunting in the 7th and lost. Kansas City beat Washington 6-3. Herbert beat Clevenger in the second game. Washington won for an even break, 10-2. Pasquale beat Garber. Becker homered with 1 on. In the National League, Los Angeles shut out Philadelphia 9-0. Williams pitching a 10-hit shutout. Buzart the loser. Williams homered 2 with 1 on. San Francisco knocked off Pittsburgh 6-3. Odell beat Cheney. Mays homered with 1 on, and Schmidt with 2 on. May's 21st. St. Louis beat Cincinnati 6-5. Gibson, the winner in relief. Folio had started. Hooks the loser. Spencer, Cunningham, and Musial homering. And for Cincinnati, Coleman and Robinson. Milwaukee beat the Cubs twice, 7-5. Spahn beat Hobby, the 278th Major League win for Spahn. Logan with one on and Adcock homering for the Braves. Santos with one on, Thomas one on for the Cubs. Milwaukee got a run in the ninth inning of the second game to beat the Cubs 1-0 as Buell beat Brewer. The double win for Milwaukee and the Pittsburgh loss sent Milwaukee in the first place in the National League by half a game. Check that, by 2 percentage points. A virtual tie, but by 2 percentage points. Now to the ninth inning. 8-2, New York. Chicago won the first game 6-3. Al Smith first up, grounded to short, popped to short, fouled out to the catcher. Now the pitch. It's inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strike. Eli Gerber to the windup, and the pitch is inside, ball 2, 2-0. Gerber wants a new ball to throw. Howard throws it over his head into center field, and Richardson goes out to get it. Two balls, no strikes. The next pitch. It's in there, strike 1, 2-1. Gerber's 2-1 delivery. Swung on and popped up to third. McDougall is under. And he has it. 1 away. Coming to bat is Gene Freese. Slide to right center, single to center, and singled off Boyer's glove into center. Singled on a super that went over second, and Boyer trees it in center. Billy Goodman's out on deck to pinch hit for Aparicio. Gerber delivers the curve that's low outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strike. The next delivery. Swung on to high chop, and McDougall grabs it, fires on to first in time. And there are 2 away. That was very close. 2 down the ninth inning. Billy Goodman coming up to pinch hit for Louis Aparicio. Goodman batting .220. The pitch to Goodman is high, ball 1. Joe Hicks comes out on deck, but Goodman should get aboard. See somebody to bat for a rush. Eli Gerber's pitch to Goodman in there, strike 1, 1-1. Gerber has given up 9 hits, but he has battled them, I'll tell you that. Pitch, swung on a ground ball, hit to short, comforted as Boyer throws on to Skowron, and the ball game is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And Eli Gerber breaks the Yankees' losing streak in a real crucial game from their standpoint. Turning back the White Sox 8-2. The totals, the Yankees 8 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. The White Sox 2 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Gerber